Hi, it's Andy, and in this video you're going to learn how to play Bring Back the One I Love, the intro by the Smithereens. Okay, here we go. So step one, you have to tune your guitar down a half step, then you have to tune your low string to drop D. Okay, I better go through that before we get too far. So I'm going to start with string 1, the skinny string. Okay, there's your tuning note. This is it's not an E, it's a D sharp. Or you could say E flat. Okay, so tune your skinniest string, string 1, to match this note. Okay, likewise, string 2 is going to get tuned down. That would be a B flat or A sharp. Okay, and then string 3, it's getting tuned down from G to G flat or F sharp. Okay, then string 4, it's D flat or C sharp. Then you've got A tuned down to A flat or G sharp. Then the low string is tuned to D flat or C sharp. Okay, it's essentially drop D tuning with all the strings tuned down a half step. Okay, this tuning is great for the Smithereens. The singer loves to play with all the strings tuned down a half step. It's better for his vocal range. And while bends and things like that might seem a little easier because the strings are looser. And drop D tuning is great because you can hit low D chords and get an extra bass note in there, low D. And you can play a lot of stuff with just one finger. So power chords are just one finger now in this tuning. Okay, let's get into the music. So the chord progression here is A, E, G, D. And the way he plays the A chord is he just uses a single finger bar chord, press down the 7th fret, and you're going to cover the 3 lowest strings. Okay, let's get a close-up on that. Okay, the first chord in this tune is a simple bar chord where you press down the 7th fret on the low E string and also the A string. So I'm squeezing string number 6 and string number 5. I'm only going to play those 2 notes with some heavy palm muting. Hit it 3 times. Okay, then the next move is your first finger is going to play on its fingertip this time. It's not a bar chord. So finger 1 is going to play fret 6 on the low string like this. And then finger 2 is going to play fret 7 on the A string like this. I don't think you've played this chord very much if you're into power chord rock because it's kind of a dissonant chord. You don't hear it too often. But it sounds like that. It's technically an E chord. Sort of a strange inversion for an E chord though. Okay, hit it a few times and then you lift your fingers away and you hit just the open strings. So open string 6 and open string 5. That's kind of a filler note. I think he's taking his finger away and playing open strings because he's transitioning to the next chord. Okay, let's review the first 2 chords of the song. Here's what we've played so far. You have your double 7, and then you've got 6 and 7 open strings there. Played fast, it sounds like. Okay, how many times did I hit each chord? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Open strings once. So 3 hits on this, 4 hits on this, and then a hit on the open strings. Okay, let's move on. Now we're going to repeat that same exact riff 2 frets lower. So here we go. You're going to bar the 5th fret like this. Then the next move is fingertip plays fret 4 on the bass string. Second finger plays fret 5 on the A string. Hit it a few times and then of course use your open strings again. So it's the same riff twice in a row. You just move it down 2 frets. There it is. Now up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now he only plays it once and then he goes into some other riff. But what I want to do right now, just for the sake of practice, is loop that and make a song out of it. So here we go. We're going to pretend that that's the entire song and we're just going to play it over and over. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, good job. Now you'll notice that as you watch me play, I'm taking the fingers that aren't playing any notes and I'm kind of curling them up so that the camera can capture exactly what I'm doing so that I don't have extra fingers in the way. Okay, I would never really play that way on stage though. Obviously, the fingers that aren't playing any notes should just relax and float above the fretboard. I want to point that out because if you're trying to copy exactly what you see, you're going to build a lot of tension into your hand. So just let these fingers float in a really relaxed way. It looks like they're playing, but they're just hovering. They're just right above the string, see? They're not even playing, they're just loosely floating above the strings. Right now I have 2 fingers that are just doing nothing. They're just hanging out. Try to avoid the temptation of curling them up like this. I only do that so you can see what I'm doing so that they don't get in the way of the camera. Okay, so another thing I want to point out is this. Check this out. You're playing a bar chord. Okay, and then do you really have to lift your finger up, then put it on its fingertip in order to form the next chord? That might be a bit choppy. You might sound a little choppy if you do that. Here's what I do. Play your bar chord. Now when you play your bar chord, make sure your fingertip is playing the note on the low string. And then what you can do is just tilt your finger like this and move it over a fret. Bang, I'm on the fingertip. So I didn't actually take my finger off the string. All I did was go from touching the string with a flat finger to touching the string with the point of my finger. So I'm not actually lifting my finger off. I'm simply flattening and then going to the tip. I'm not removing my finger from the string. So the whole riff, your first finger does this little dance that looks like this. Okay, watch for that as I play the riff. Okay, there's your opening riff. Now let's move on and learn the next riff. Okay, the next riff is just simply a series of bar chords, and it sounds like this. Okay, let's learn that. I'm playing a simple bar chord, same chord we played at the beginning of the song. It's a bar chord on the 7th fret. Hit it 3 times. Then bar chord on the 2nd fret. Then bar chord on the 5th fret. and then open strings. So the tab is going to say 7-2-5-0. Let's play that together. 1, 2, 3, go. Repeat. I know it doesn't really repeat on the CD, but I want you to repeat it. Get the groove going on this riff. Don't just play it once and stop. Challenge yourself to keep the groove real steady. Lots of palm muting. You got it. Okay, now let's put all the riffs together. Play the first riff and then the second riff. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to do that nice and slow so that you can see my fingers. And I'm going to show you from a couple different angles. So I'm going to stand like this so that you can see from this angle. And I'm going to play it at about half speed for you. Here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll repeat. There we go. Okay, once more from a different angle. Now I'll stand like this so you can see from this way. Here it goes, half speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. Go. You just learned the first part of Bring Back the One I Love by the Smithereens.